Hi, thanks for joining me today. It's Jody Fitzgerald here with Fitz Your Dog Training. I am a licensed family dog mediator and certified dog obedience trainer, instructor, and a former nurse that I bring together all of that experience and knowledge and my work with rescue and experience with my own dogs that I bring here to try and share with you how to help you have a better life with your dog and have your dog really thrive in your home and you not to be stressed out and frustrated, to just be happy together. And dogs are really good at being able to do that when we let them and we give them the room to be themselves. And one of the best ways that you can do that is by letting them sniff the environment. Let them check it out with all their senses. They get so excited. Spring is a great time for dogs to just they love it. They get involved in all the scents. I'm going to go through a little bit more about that, but spring is waking up the world and your dog knows it. Have no doubt about it. They know things are coming out of the snow as it melts and the earth gets warm. New smells come up from the ground, and it's like it's nature's invitation for dogs. This isn't just a walk, it's about a sensory adventure filled with stories, information, and joy. Giving dogs the freedom to sniff and make choices about where to go supports their emotional well-being, their mental stimulation, and overall welfare, the core elements of the five domains of animal welfare. I wanted to where did my mouse go? There it is. The spring is a symphony of scents to dogs. I just love saying that because I can see it in my dogs when they go walking and when they get out there right now with that fresh snow melting and warming up things. They get so excited and they're the happiest little dogs ever. When the ground thaws, a whole world of scents burst open, and your dog is built to notice every molecule. Here's some examples of what they're smelling, what's delighting, putting all this happiness and excitement in through their nose. There's fresh soil microbes and decomposing organic matter. Buried scents are released by the melting snow. Worms, insects, they become active again. There's fungus and molds growing with the moisture. The sense of plant roots. I know my dogs love the plant roots and the new sprouts that are pushing through the snow and through the ground. Animals can also smell, the dogs can also smell animal trails and territorial markings. So other dogs or wildlife, like foxes, we know we have foxes here. So foxes, rabbits, deer, raccoons, the there's so many of them. I know we have coyotes coming through. They can smell them. There's urine and feces from other animals. This one is like a scented newsletter for your dog. It tells them information. Pheromones that reveal gender, health, age, and reproductive status are in this information. And there's trails from animals moving at night, this a scent map, and we see it. We can see our dogs follow these pathways. It's really interesting to watch them. You can tell that something has gone in the path, even when you can't see the prints anymore in the snow. There's botanical aromas, new grass, budding flowers, tree blossoms, pollen and nectar. Some dogs are much more sensitive to these than others. There's going to be sap and resin leaking from trees, decaying leaves from last fall, the decaying leaves that are still there, and the grass. They make a layered sense for dogs. They just love this stuff. They can also smell human scents. So people, if somebody's walked by on walkways, in the paths on the grass, they can smell stuff off of people's shoes. They can tell every step leaves a tiny scent particle, and they can tell that someone has walked by, and they can tell by what they've walked by and the sense that they leave, even where they've been. It's really fascinating and fantastic what dogs can smell. food wrappers, garbage bins, barbecue leftovers. That's that's just a dog's urban buffet. Laundry vent smells, dryer sheets, garden soils with fertilizer. They can smell all this stuff. And there's also water and air changes. So moisture from puddles and melting snow, that moisture coming up has smells in it that they can tell. Changing wind can bring distant smells closer. I sure see it in my dogs. Ginger is the first one I always notice. She will stop and she'll just be sniffing the air, and you can see her put her face right into the wind and smell that. It's amazing, and she loves it. Why does this matter genetically for your dog? For dogs, it's a scent explosion connects directly to the dog's evolutionary wiring. The scavenger and hunting instincts kicked in. What's edible? What's interesting to the dog? Their social instincts are activated. Who's been here, friend or stranger? Curiosity and problem solving skills are exercised. It's mental enrichment for them to smell things and to think about it and to just get all those genetics involved. And you can just see how excited they get. It tracking behaviors awaken. Some dogs will start following the scent, as I mentioned. Territorial and reproductive awareness sharpens. They read the neighborhood. They can tell what's going on over there, what's going on over there. They can just even through the wind, they can smell it, what's going on with other animals in the neighborhood. And it's also stress relief and emotional regulation for them. Sniffing is calming. I find that sniffing can be very calming to a dog, and it can be very grounding. There's often times that I see dogs, if they're in an unsure situation, if they're uncomfortable a bit or something, often dogs will start sniffing. So it does help to release stress and to regulate their emotions. So letting your dog sniff in the spring does not just entertain them, it fulfills their deepest genetic needs. It's not just a walk, it's an ancestral enrichment. I love encouraging letting your dog sniff and smell. I like the idea of when you go for a walk, you have to think about who's the walk for. The walk is for the dog, or is it for you? And if you're going to really let your dog have a walk, if they want to sniff, let them sniff. Take them to open places that are safe. Take them to a fenced. I have a fenced area, a safe fenced area. I have a wonderful fenced area that people rent and use just to spend time with their dog, or I get involved and can help with enrichment. I really highly recommend a long leash. If you can't have your dog off leash, I recommend having a long leash and giving them those opportunities to move at their own space and pace, and letting them choose where they're going. If as long as it's safe, what's wrong if he wants to go over there and sniff that tree and that grass and that little pile of something on the ground, as long as it's not something that you don't want them to sniff. We do keep an eye on our dogs because we do have animal droppings, and when you learn to watch your dog and their behavior and their actions, that you can actually tell when they've found something that you're not going to want them to sniff too much of. So I will usually be finding a way to encourage them to come away from it if I need to. Recall is very, very, very important this time of year because all of this wonderful enrichment and amazing smells and things that are going on in nature are very challenging. And your dog can get a sniff and just go and go on their trail to finding whatever that wonderful smell is coming from. That's why recall is very, very, very important. And I would highly recommend practicing recall. If your dog does not have good recall, the first thing you're going to be doing is working on their name and making sure they know their name really well, and that when they come to you, it's a great experience. It's always a party. It's always a really good thing. But please feel free to contact me because I love helping with recall with dogs. It's a topic that I've been concerned about and worked on for many years. And I love it. I love being able to trust the recall. And like I said, if you don't trust the recall, a long line is a great way to make sure you're keeping your dog safe. I like to use the FITZ model to help with enriching their life through and letting them do scent work. So we get to focus on body language, watching things like their ears perk, their tail wag, letting the nose lead the way. Individual needs matter, right? Focus on body language. Individual needs matter. Some dogs need fast walks, others need long sniffs. So individual needs matter. Trusting through communication. When you follow your dog's lead, you're saying, "I'm listening." And I always, with communication, I'm always be willing to get into it with them. Be willing to get into what they are doing. If they're sniffing that blade of grass, wow, I'll be saying, "Hey, that must be a good that must smell really good." Getting into the smells with them and what is it? And, you know, just joining their little bit of their world as best you can is really exciting. And I find they love it and they love the response. I've had many times dogs look at me, turn and look at me and go like, "You smell it too? Do you smell that?" Right? Like, so they really they like you to be involved in what they're doing. It's all helps for relationship building and zone of comfort. Sniffing is calming, grounding, and stress reducing. Using this FITS model to help you with your dog can really make a difference and help you and your dog have a better life together. Let your dog enjoy the sense of spring and the freedom to choose how they explore. It's a simple gift with big benefits. I hope that I've given you some ideas and some thoughts about what you can do to make life better with your dog and letting them smell. Another thing I just thought in my background here, I've got my snuffle mats, and these are what I've been working on. I'm planning on to sell them. This is what I use for my dogs for breakfast every day. I put their food in there and they get to sniff it out and they really like it. So I've made some super heavy duty, well-made snuffle mats. I have quite a few. I've got some different designs and different colors and a few different sizes. They're good for cats, they're good for dogs, they're good for rabbits apparently too. Right, Hogs? Hoagie's right here beside me looking at me like, what are you doing with those? So think about enrichment for your dog and think about how you can, just by letting them sniff, you can make a world of difference. I put my email link in there. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put my link in there for you to um, let me know if you're having any concerns, if you want some help with your dog. I love to help you. I'm a human and dog relationship expert. And that's what I'm here to do is to communicate for your dog and help you understand your dog so that you can be communicating and having a good life together. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I really need more subscribers. I want to keep growing that list. And I hope you have a good day. And I hope you take your dog for some great walk and get to go out there and enjoy the day together. And it's so simple. It's so simple. And your dog is waiting. Right, Hoagie? I have a Hoagie here. Look at this guy. There he is. What? What? He says, "I don't know if I want to be on there." He loves to smell. He loves to smell. He's looking out the windows. I know it. He loves smelling the whole yard. And we sometimes go around the yard once really fast and then once really slow because he just loves to sniff and smell everything. So make sure you're letting your dog sniff into spring, right? It's a dog's joy to choose. Have a great day.